think I know where's the entrance that I go. I'll just ask Mrs. Hawk.
Yeah. Hello guys. This is Scarlett first day of school.
Of grade 1.
Grade 1.
Law. This is cool.
There we go.
We go to a different school now. We go to a different class.
I think you're too early.
No, we're not. All the kids are here.
No, not all.
I honestly miss this home.
You just want to meet Mrs. Hop.
Yeah, and then I'll go to class after the first bell rings.
Yeah.
Wait, does the wait, how many rings the bell? Dad, can I tell you a joke question?
What?
How many bells does it take to ring every single time?
Like three bells.
No, 100. I didn't say how many bells do it take.
Three times.
No, it's 2 times.
2 times?
Yeah, because it was a joke question.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you not hear that it was a joke? It was a joke.
I didn't.
Joke is joke.
Right.
What? It's so hot.
Ooh, a lot of students.
A lot of students.
They're excited to back to school.
I
Yeah.
want to see this. I didn't spoke too soon. How many people are there?
A lot. See?
There's a lineup.
There's a lineup. We'll find which gate are you.
No, I'll ask Mrs. Hawk.
I will ask.
Maybe that's stationary. Tell which is tell.
There we go. We are just in the back of the school. We are just living there. The school is here.
Is it just a visit or something?
There's steps to going to school.
There's tips?
Huh?
There's tips or something? I talked about something?
Let's go. Hurry up.
I thought it was there.
Nothing new. I said, let's go. It's here. Go, go, go. Okay, let's go, let's go. Okay.
I remember the day. I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right here. You see?
Oh, it's here. Scarlett, come here. Yeah, see? A lot of students, a lot of parents in there. We'll find your teacher. What room are you? What room? Room. Come here, come here. Not there.
No, I'm B.
B. You're B, right? You're B, right?
Screening at the photo right there.
You know where's AB? You're in AB, he's in 1B.
B.
Yes. Wonderful.
6B. You're 6B, right? Mrs. Hub is there.
Or a teacher, please just find somebody with a vest on. They can help you find your class. We are lined up in order from grade 1 to grade 6, and our kindergartens are at our kindergarten area. Thank you so much for joining us on this very warm first day of school. I'm Miss Bear, and I would like to introduce our Vice Principal, Mr. Rankin. I'm going to pass it to Mr. Rankin to do a couple welcomes.
Good morning. It is so nice to see everyone this morning on this incredibly warm morning. I know it is a morning that is filled with excitement and also some nerves, and those nerves are for children and also parents who are trusting us to do what we do well, which is to educate your children and make them feel welcome and safe. So we are really pleased that we can be here together. And we want to do some introductions so that you can get to know our wonderful staff.
Okay, and I am going to start with some special introductions. It is difficult to see everyone this morning, so please just tall hand up and wave when I call your name. And if I can't see you, it's going to be difficult to introduce you, but I'm going to start with our trustee. We are lucky to have Trustee Carla Johnson here with us today. Trustee Johnson, can I see a wave? And I'm not sure, our Superintendent Evelyn Giannopoulos was joining us this morning, as well as Superintendent and former Coronation Principal, Jody Albrecht. Welcome to both of you. And I'm going to try and start with educators just from our left and move our way over. So I'm going to start welcome with Mrs. Zettel Linder. Beside Mrs. Zettel Linder, I see Mrs. Kitzman. I see Mrs. Pearl. I see Mrs. Taylor. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. I see Mrs. Berg. Mrs. Samuels. Hello, Mrs. Samuels. I see Mrs. Brown in the front here. Hi, Mrs. Brown. And Mrs. Jetter. Hi, Mrs. Jetter. Madame Greenwood. There's Madame Greenwood. Mr. Albrecht. Hello. Mrs. Harrington. Mrs. Marie. Miss Casali, Mrs. Cook, Mrs. Berry, Mrs. Schnarr, Mrs. Pugh. I'm not sure if our kindergarten classes have joined us this morning or if they have gone into our other sides, but we have in our kindergarten classes, Mrs. Kovacs, Mrs. Watkins, and Mrs. Jenkins. We also have Mrs. Prickett Hart and Mrs. Hacking. We also have Mrs. Polari, Mrs. Cruz, and Mrs. Hoff, as well as Mrs. Green. I am sorry if I missed anyone. Big wave if I missed anyone. Madam Meehan, Mrs. Coburn, Mrs. Schiestel, and I'm going to invite Madame Greenwood up to help us sing our school song. Sing loudly and proudly, Cool Cats.
Okay, you guys remember this song? Sing along. Coronation School, you can hear us sing.
love to learn and we like to have fun. At Coronation School, we're number one. We try our best at everything we do. Our cool cat colors are red, white, and blue. We wear them with pride so everyone will see. Coronation School is the coolest place on earth to be.
At Coronation School, you can hear us sing. We're respectful,
Responsible, we do the right thing. We love to learn and we like to have fun. At Coronation School, we're number one. At Coronation School, yeah, we're number one.
Thank you everyone for being here, and we're going to ask our educators to begin taking their students into class. We are hopeful that you understand that this might not be the pickup spot for your child, and if you need some information about that, connect with your educator. And thank you parents for joining us this morning. It's a delight that we could start in this way. Thank you.